For most of us, facing a jump into the unknown can produce a bewildering variety of reactions and emotions. Fear, apprehension, anxiety. Will I be up to what's being asked of me? Maybe most of all, when it's all over, where will I actually land? Think I'm just talking about skydiving? The fact is, taking a leap into the unknown is something most of us experience with great regularity these days, in our own work lives.
Hey, how'd the meeting go? Did they approve it?
Well, we're going to be moving to the new nurse-to-patient ratios.
The leap may be from a current secure role to one that is unknown.
Well, the new ratios will improve quality of care, which is good, but won't it also mean some significant redeployment for some of us?
I suppose that's a possibility.
Word just came down, guys. With sales going through the roof, they've decided to centralize shipping between Dock 16 and yours. I'll be in charge of the transition.
Well, I'm glad things are looking up, but Eileen, our shipping procedures aren't anything like Dock 16's.
The change may be an unexpected shift into a new but unproven work arrangement.
Well, Lou's right. It'll take weeks to train everyone on 16 how we do things here.
Guys, it's not like that. You see, you're the ones moving over to Dock 16. I'll be working with you to facilitate the transition to their procedures.
You guys didn't have to do this.
Hey, biggest software sale of the quarter, and it's because of you.
Yeah, come on. Now, you all played a big part, and you know it.
Sometimes what we experience isn't really a leap at all, but rather the ground being pulled from underneath us.
I'm sorry to interrupt with bad news, but Norman over at Simtech just called. The sale's been canceled.
But this sale took us a year. It took legal 4 months just to negotiate the contract.
Did he say why?
No, Claire. I'm hoping you can find that out.
Yeah.
In some cases, we face only the possibility of negative change, change that we feel powerless to prevent.
Did you know that a sunset clause in the existing appropriations bill comes due next Friday?
No, I had no idea. What's it gonna mean?
As of Friday, we'll revert to previous levels of funding for street maintenance.
Well, surely the council members knew about this.
Yes, but I don't think they're aware of how severe the cutbacks will be.
Well, the council will need to vote at their next meeting to override this clause. The next one's 4 days away.
I'll give this to Supervisor Atherton. We'll just have to wait until he can present the problem to the council.
Well, second-year transfer students are about on par with last year. So how's the freshman class shaping up?
It's not.
Well, what regions are down?
That's the thing. It's Springfield, Lincoln, and Warner counties.
Prime areas that have always filled our freshman roles.
I spent the morning on the phone with...
Sometimes the change we face is an unknown future that seems to threaten our organization's success.
Zoe, we don't have a big endowment. I mean, if we don't fill the freshman class, we're looking at a major revenue shortfall.
Change can be frightening, but it can also be exhilarating. It's all in how we view change and how we respond to it. While there's a lot of talk about managing change, the fact is, many times change is delivered to us as a fact, a done deal, no negotiating, no voting. Managing the change itself may not be an option, but there is something we can manage: our internal response to change, our personal transition. Now, this transition can be as individual as we are. It doesn't happen overnight, but it is essential that each of us go through it in our own way, at our own pace, in order to successfully accommodate ourselves to any change. A transition can be likened to a linear story. A beginning stage, a middle, a neutral zone, and an ending stage. So far, so good. But when we are dealing with change, we actually experience these stages in reverse order. First comes the ending stage, where we must step out of what we had known before and confront the feelings of loss, anxiety, and confusion that accompany a change. This is where we are challenged to let go of the old way of doing things. Fortunately, there are productive actions we can take to help guide ourselves through the ending stage.
Raquel, do you have a minute?
Yeah, sure. What's up?
Look, I know these new ratios will be good for patient care in the long run.
Yes.
But I also know that it'll mean new nurses being hired and some of us being shifted around. I've got the lowest seniority on the ward.
I wouldn't worry about you being moved. With all the new staff to hire, you're not likely to be transferred to a new area where you'll have to be trained too. In fact, you'll probably be asked to coach a new nurse here in our ward.
First, we should clarify what is really ending and what we stand to lose. For example, are we losing status, control, comfort, and familiarity? The clearer we are about what's really ending, the less likely we are to overreact.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about it like that. All the new people will be an adjustment, but at least I'll still be here.
Yeah.
This will have to be short, Claire. I have a 5 o'clock call that I have to take.
I tried to call your assistant Anne to let her know I'd be a little late.
I had to let Ann go yesterday.
So, my team and I have been using these flow charts to track how we've been working with Semtech up till now, and we think we located the point where things broke down, and we assume it's here on page 2 where...
Look, I don't really know if this is going to get us anywhere.
What do you mean?
Well, it's just that some of the departments in this chart don't even exist anymore. Products have been tabled or canceled outright.
The ending stage is the place where we may be forced to let go of old assumptions and evaluate our situation honestly and objectively.
I don't really know if we can ever diagram how we work together again. Things are changing too rapidly.
I gotta be honest with you, Norman. This is totally new ground for us. I'm at a loss for how we can help you, let alone ourselves.
Look, if I knew the answers, we could do things just like in your charts, but they just don't work anymore.
Maybe that's where we can start from now on.
What?
Norman, you and I have just given a proper burial to our old way of working together. Fine. Now we have a chance that doesn't come around very often to start from scratch and build a productive partnership, but without the bottlenecks that strangled us the first time.
I'll just postpone that call.
Here are the maintenance procedures for Doc 16. Read them over and I'll follow up with you at the end of the week.
This is totally different from how we work.
Yeah, but it's the way you'll be doing it from now on. Might as well get used to it.
What does she know about maintenance on the dock? She's management. Our way works fine.
Tony, I figure there is no our way anymore. We're gonna have to forget our old procedures and do it this new way.
We can also move ourselves through the ending stage by actively seeking closure on the old way we've been doing things.
It's just... We've been working together for years. I just don't know about working with her.
She's not so bad. Why don't you give it a week? See how it goes.
Once you've committed to leaving what's in the past behind you, you're ready for the next stage, the neutral zone, where you find yourself adrift without solid orientation to what came before or what is yet to come. Here, we are forced to constantly adjust to forces and conditions that can shift like the wind. But it can also be a stage where you have the freedom to try new things.
Supervisor Atherton's late. They're keeping a speaking slot open for him.
If he doesn't arrive before the end of the session, the reduced funding automatically goes into effect at midnight. Is there anybody else who can present this to council?
No, no one else has been briefed. I don't know what we can do.
We're out of time here, Adrian.
It's important to accept ambiguity when you're in the neutral zone, but don't become paralyzed by your uncertainty.
What are you doing?
You said there's still an open slot, right?
Yeah?
I'm going to present this problem to council.
Can you do that?
We'll find out. Right now.
So you need a vendor who's going to be flexible when you need to make last-minute updates in these sectors, here and here.
But from your perspective, I don't understand how that can work. I mean, we're not your only client. You need to be able to allocate resources based on our projected workload.
The kind of workload...
While in the neutral zone, remember to communicate, to keep your channels open in all directions. Sharing issues with others creates a climate of problem solving.
Well, I started out rejecting your arguments, and now I'm making them for you. That's progress, I guess.
Yeah, question is, how do we stay close enough to your design needs so that we can adapt to them as they happen? I mean, if only we had some kind of a local presence.
I don't know how. Or where.
Exploring options is crucial in the neutral zone. So be willing to experiment with new ways of doing things. It may even lead to workable solutions.
Hey, what about here?
I don't get it. Are you asking for a job?
No, just a desk. Now, I won't change jobs. I'll just change where I do my job. I need to think like part of your team, be part of your team.
Well, that sounds kind of crazy, Claire.
Yeah? Well, maybe crazy is what's called for these days.
Tell me again, how's this gonna work?
We ship refrigerated and packaged items together in one shipment.
But we've always split our shipments, cold and packaged, even to a single destination.
But now that we're on the same dock, Eileen and I figured that we can change that and...
We might save half a shift a week on outbound shipping.
Guys, this looks pretty good.
While in the neutral zone, look for opportunities to acknowledge the progress that others are making in their own transition. Eventually, they'll do the same for you.
Who figured this out?
It was her idea.
Oh, right on schedule.
What?
I thought it'd be at least a week before one of you would give the other credit for something.
Once you've left the neutral zone behind, you're ready for the last stage, the beginning stage, where finally some firm ground begins to emerge. This is where we begin to embrace the new way of doing things and create an action plan for the future.
Yes, absolutely. The perfect person for you to speak with would be Professor Johnson. That would be the mathematics department.
One way to move productively in the beginning stage is to create and follow a personal mission statement for working through the change. What do you want to achieve?
29 candidates, right on target.
And which target was that?
Mine. I set a goal to enroll 40% of next year's freshman class from within a 500-mile radius. If all our open houses pull like this, we could achieve that.
If all of my recruiters set goals like yours, we'd be at capacity or above. Oh, I want to introduce you to someone.
Well, I can't believe you're doing this. So, how's this gonna work?
I don't know.
What are we talking here? 3 months, 6, what?
I don't know. I'm on the account full-time already, and if I'm there on site, I can really see what's happening. And I need to be...
The beginning stage may present us with some radical solutions, but an important skill here is to behave as if there are no barriers to such solutions.
You know, we've never done anything like this before.
Exactly, which is why we need to do it before one of our competitors does.
Ooh, legal's gonna have a fit.
Well, tell them we can start with what I gave Norman.
What's that?
Trust. We're making a fresh start here, Roger.
Actively solicit support from those around you. By showing confidence and resolve, we encourage others to join us in our collective future.
I guess this was a bit premature.
Well, you earned it once, and I'm betting you will again.
Thanks.
Good luck.
By managing our own transition, we will not only be able to successfully accommodate change, but will also be more willing to embrace a leap into the unknown again and again. Change can be frightening, but also exhilarating. It's all in how we manage our own transition, which consists of 3 distinct stages.
In the ending stage, start by clarifying what's really ending and let go of old assumptions.
Then actively seek closure on the old way of doing things.
In the neutral zone, it's important to accept ambiguity, but don't become paralyzed by it. And remember to communicate. Keep your channels open in all directions.
Be willing to experiment and acknowledge the progress of others on their own transition.
In the beginning stage, create a personal mission statement for working through the change. When radical solutions appear, behave as if there were no barriers to implementing them. And finally, actively solicit support from others and encourage them to join you in your collective future.